Here is our mission and vision. Our vision is to empower 1 million conscious seekers with advanced emotional health care. And our mission is to transform lives of 1 million conscious seekers from victimhood to victorhood by grooming their emotional intelligence. So let me ask you here, would you join us in our mission and vision? Are you ready to commit? Are you ready to receive? Say yes if you're in, and let's do this.
Let me ask you all, when you achieve something, whenever you achieve something, what do you like? People celebrating you, do you like that? Do you like people celebrating you? Let me hear some answers. Do you like people celebrating you when you achieve something? Little victories, be it any little, but do you love it? Excited, okay? Yes, I love it. Yes. And how does it feel when someone from your community or from your space, someone who shares your ideas, your ideologies, something which you also stand for? When your community, a community like that, celebrates you, celebrates your victories, how do you love that? You know, someone clapping for you, someone saying, yeah, girl, that's the thing. Or, yes, you did it, folk, you did it, guy. How do you love that? Someone celebrating you. You love that feeling. Because पता है हमारी society में क्या है? बड़ी hypocrisy हमारी society है. The minute you're gonna share a post, like I'm sick, everyone will flood in. Get well soon, get well soon, get well soon, get well soon, get well soon. तब होगा. But the minute you post your victories, you're like, इसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात है? Sure. Does it happen to you? Does this happen to you? Yeah?
Yes.
Yes, it does happen to us. But do you think when someone actually celebrates you, it becomes a huge thing? बहुत बड़ी बात होती है हमारे लिए. You know, that little victory after a long list of failures, when there is a little victory, feels really good. So, is it all right if we celebrate a few of our sisters and brothers who have had their little victories? Is it all right if we begin with that? Because the more you're going to give, the more you are going to get. And with each and every one of you, let me share some of the victories, small victories of some of the people who are just like you, and maybe might be going through some of the challenges just like you, have received their small victories. And here they are. So, because we are high on confidentiality, we are not going to share the names, but we are going to share some of their heartwarming messages informing us of what are the changes that they are going through. And here is one of them. So, as it happens, we do take a checkup with everyone. And this is one thing. A person who used to always be on low energy, you know, never wanted to take any effort, was always like, kya fayda hai life ka? Life is meaningless. What's there in it? Every relationship is bad, every this is bad, nothing is happening in life. But this is what they said. This was a small victory for them. Another one. A person who could not find themselves to stand up to some of the things were able to take a stand. And gradually, they have come to a point after those little victories to finally come up and say the things that they want, take a stand for themselves. Would you clap to that? This is a beautiful victory for someone. I can assure you that. if you would hear their stories from right from the beginning, it's a huge victory for each one of them. The next one. Why? So why is why? Yes, why is for yes or why is for a question. So you can type it in the chat box and I'll see that. I'll surely see that. But moving on to the next one. Here is a person who started off with body shaming. Most of us has gone through that. How many of you have gone through that? Body shaming. Be honest. I have been through that. Pakka. I have been through that. Body shaming. Right. And this body shaming had become so severe for a person that they had stopped dressing up. They had stopped being, beautiful in their own bodies, feel confident in their own bodies. And this difference is what they felt, claiming back their power is again a small victory. So if you all can, a small clap for this person as well. You don't know, the person might be there in the group and they will feel awesome about it. The minute you're gonna, appreciate them for their victories. The next one. I'm actually feeling peaceful mentally, like I felt that day. It was twice. And this is another victory. These are some of the victories that we have had. So, having shared this with you all, how many of you would like to hear a story? A story of an egg.
I want to.
Awesome. Upon a time, there was a girl who neither loved nor hated egg. Okay, egg. The egg of the story of this egg with which we started. It was just a part of food items. Sometimes she had it, sometimes she did not. Yeah. So it was just a part of her food. Okay, she neither loved it, she never hated it. It was just like that. But one day, now this is the part where all the stories usually get interesting, but one day, what happened? So one day, when she woke up, she decided that, today I'll request Amma to make egg in the morning. So after she got up and after things, she went to the kitchen and spotted her Amma, dressed in a beautiful yellow. Said, Amma, can I have egg today? But to her great surprise, her mother strictly replied, no. She was, shocked. She asked again. But still, she got no as an answer. No. So she innocently asked, but why? And, she also got a little bit irritated. Like, we ate it that day when my brother, asked for it. Why not today? So her Amma just, simply ignored her and kept on doing her work. So what should we call this girl? Let's hear some names. What should we call her? This girl, the story of this girl. Anyone wants
Pinky.
to suggest any names?
Pinky.
Huh? Pinky. All right. So let's go with Pinky. So Pinky, she was, upset and discouraged. She came out of the kitchen and then she aimlessly wandered until she spotted her grandmother in the angan. Pinky stealthily came by her grandmother and sat. For a few minutes, she remained completely quiet. Let me see if she's, in the mood. Let me talk to her. What can I do? What can I not do? Varna yahan pe bhi daant pad gayi to ho gaya. So, she sat there, judged the mood of the grandmother, and after a quick assurance, stated her complaint. Let me go to the elder person and tell her what happened. So she said, mother is not letting me have egg. So her grandmother just laughed and said, you stupid girl, you don't know it's a sin to have egg on an auspicious day like this? Don't you even know that much? Did your mother teach you nothing? Go away from here.
But did she tell that it's an auspicious day today? She should have told earlier only.
Yes, she could have told earlier only. But
ऐसे बोल सकती थी ना, like there it's an auspicious day today and we are not going to have eggs today. Maybe
Yes,
tomorrow.
that is something the girl could have got as an answer, right? But since she did not have a reason and it kept on happening, what do you think are the of the girl reacting or responding? You know, in what manner would she respond now? If something, you know, some other time she, you know, wanted to eat egg or something. What do you think about this situation? कभी ऐसा हुआ है? अच्छा सच्ची सच्ची बता. You know, tell me very honestly. Has it have ever happened to you all where, you know, you know that today is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever it is, and you have to cut your nails. But because of our beliefs on that particular day, you'll not cut your not fingers, your nails. Has it
Yeah.
ever happened to you?
Yes.
And some of us who are very rebellious,
Yes.
what we do? What we do?
Always cut on those days.
Cut on that date. Sir.
Exactly. We will cut our nails on that day only. You know, like, see, nothing happened. I cut my nails and nothing happened. Right. And this is something which many of us have. You know, many of us have had this experience. Sabke hue honge, I know. But what does this story tell us? You know, there is something in this story which, you know, insightful. What do you think it is?
Killing a child's curiosity. Or
Okay,
without
killing a child's curiosity.
She felt abandoned, unloved, unheard.
Yes, yes.
Now she'll
What
be reluctant
else?
to ask again, or maybe go ahead and cook herself.
Yes, absolutely. She'll be reluctant. What else? She'll be
Gender
rebellious. You know,
discrimination.
let me
She
do
will
something.
She will
Gen-
feel that
Yes.
things are being hidden from her. That
Gender
everyone
discrimination.
knows,
Exactly.
so she thinks that she's not a part of family, that she's being separated. Things are hidden from her. It is not known to her, known to everyone.
Exactly.
And gender discrimination.
And gender discrimination. Yes, gender discrimination also. But what is the actual mistake here? Sab kuch hai, you know, all these factors come in. Gender discrimination, she'll feel her self-image is hurt. She will feel stupid. She will, you know, be scared of asking people. She will stay quiet. She will deliberately do some of the things which are told to her, don't do. So even if it's in her favor, she'll feel like, okay, so people are saying, no, I'll do this. She'll somewhere become self-destructive as well. But what do you think was wrong in the story? Do you think there was something specifically wrong? And it was, you know, just the situations,
It was
the
like
structure of the experiences.
not dealing with the child in a according to the age.
Yes, according to the age, but it does happen to us all. Well,
Yeah.
yes,
The
there have
problem
been some
is
other
that
things.
I feel the problem is that the other person, they were not able to communicate properly.
Yes,
They are not
communicate.
in good communicators.
Yes.
They try to blame instead of telling the right
Communicate.
correct situation, that this situation happened because of that.
Exactly.
It's not because of you
Right.
or you are stupid like that, right? Not name calling is
Yes.
not there.
Exactly. Labeling happened, right?
Mhm.
But this labeling, had the person been given a logical answer, chalo theek hai, logically, but you know, just the fact that it's an auspicious day and this is the culture or the tradition and this is why we follow this. This is just like a ritual that we follow. Right? Just this much as an answer was enough for the child. They would have got some idea about it. Yes, she must not be discriminated, absolutely. But if you see, from a perspective, from a third person's or an objective way se agar hum dekhe, so it was an auspicious day, following the culture was important. But now, you know, she'll collect evidences from her environment and she'll feel maybe there was gender discrimination, maybe there was not. But as the information floods around her, in that moment, she felt like, you know, usko mila us day. And, you know, then she'll find out reasons on her own. You know, is wajah se, you know, maybe I'm a girl, this is why I do not get it. But maybe it was just that it was an auspicious day and, you know, certain factors did not align with the idea. But the people around did not act accordingly. Now, having stated, his story, just try to stay with the story and, allow me to share my screen. Do I have your permission? Okay, I've already shared it. But yes, I hope I do have all your permissions. And
Yeah.
moving ahead with it, this was the story of the egg which we started. Now here is the girl, and at a point of time, here is what has happened to her. There has been a learning, rational mind coming in, forming or cooking up her own stories to fit in a reason. Because, she is left without any reason. She has no answer. Just, blamings, labelings, that has only happened. But at this point, she will learn some of the things here. And how does the human mind act? It acts in a manner where you understand some of the things, you listen to all the things, but then you delete some of the information. You generalize some of the information and then you distort most of the information. And that is how human mind stores information. So can you see all of these things in this story? Distortion, generalization, and
Deletion.
deletion, deleting the information. So these three things. Now, that's how we usually record. Now, depending on the nature of what has been the impact of the environment or the topics or, the magnitude of the experience, traumatic, non-traumatic, whatever it was. For this girl, this particular incident will remain stuck within her head. She won't be able to ever find an answer. अपने हिसाब से खोजेगी, but since she was not given a proper answer that day, she will keep on looking for an answer. And with that, with all the adults around her, she will just suppress most of the things. And that is what usually happens to the inner child. At most or the other points, we remain suppressed. We don't express what we are feeling. Maybe because society is telling us that this is right, that is wrong. Maybe they have taught us morality and they are themselves somewhere being hypocritical, but they will not recognize it. So these are some of the clashing conflicts that comes in and it creates suppression or aggression within us. But there will be one more thing in here. As she would grow up, she would have an inquisitive self. At some of the other points, she might try to rationalize the things, further rationalize, समझने की कोशिश करेगी. यार, does it really happen? Just like we do sometimes. नाखून नहीं काटना है. On a particular day, you shouldn't cut your nails. But there is a part of us that might feel like, why do people do this? There is no reason. But it's just a belief that we have. But still, there is a part in us which would feel like, why? Why do we do that? Is there any logic behind it? But then again, we'll circle back to our morals, our culture and everything. And then we, again, try to rationalize it. This happens, that happens. We'll bring in some science as well. And then again, we'll keep the ideas with us. But there will be a third part that will always remain irritated, frustrated, emotional misery, and so on. So that's somewhere a difference between the three cells. Isliye what happens, we do go under certain things, but after a point of time, we are left with a lot of questions. Some of the general questions where we feel like, I don't know what the hell is wrong with this society, but I want to create my own society, someone with whom I can vibe, my own community. We search for our own community. Where is it? Where can I find my answers? Who are those people with whom my ideas connect with? Have you all felt that?
Yes.
Yes. So that is getting some clarity. कुछ समझ आ रहा है, हल्का हल्का लग रहा है कि this is somewhere almost like our own story. I also sometimes feel like I have so many questions that are not answered, so many things which just are there and I have to accept it. But then we do have a, छोड़ते सबको, let's everyone जाने दो, let them go to dash dash dash, and let me create my own society, let me find my own society.
Yes.
और क्या होता है समय के साथ साथ? There is one more thing which happens. Environment keeps, yes, withdrawal hota hai, and the society keeps on informing us with the same information कि नहीं ऐसी होती है चीजें, no, this is how we do it. And over a period of time, we try to give us affirmations, inner voices को सुनने की कोशिश करते हैं, but then we just, lose track of it. Self-motivation, everything is there. But somehow the environment and the society, they still are heavy on that balance. They are still dominant. Do you feel that? जितना भी हम कोशिश कर लें यहाँ पे, the average people around us are going to pull us down. No matter what. The average people are going to pull us down anyways. Right? And gradually we lose hope. We lose hope, like kuch nahi ho sakta hamara. And let me go back into my shell, or let me take up my own defenses. ये जो suppressed inner child होता है, after a point of time, like you said, withdrawal, or being aggressive, standing up, fighting, going on wars instead of taking a proper stand, going on wars. And also, along the way, we end up creating that loop of being a persecutor, sometimes a victim, sometimes a rescuer. Hota hai aisa? Sometimes you are a victim of something, but sometimes you feel like, okay, I also did the same thing, but I don't know why I did it. But then we try to, forget it. Let's forget. And then we end up also being rescuers. We see someone and we are like, let me rescue this person. But whenever you are going to try to rescue someone, they will not listen to you. Happens? They will not listen to you. And you'll be like, oh, why, what is wrong with this person? I'm trying to help her, or I'm trying to help him, and they're not listening to me. मेरे साथ भी होता है. I'm also sitting here, you'll say कि you're also doing the same job, sitting there, rescuing people. So yeah, same thing. But that is why, we need permission. We ask for people's permission. If you want life transformation, so we will ask for your permission. The permission is again required because this is how our inner child is usually formed. Not usually, it is formed in this manner only. And the defenses, the traits that we pick up along the way, not the traits that we have, but the traits that we develop over a period of time as a defense mechanism, as an adaptation strategy. That is what happens with our inner child, with the birth of our inner child. Till here it's clear, somewhat? Because now we are coming slowly to our idea of inner child. कि ये होता क्या है? So, once again, for all those people who are new.
Subconscious mind.
Absolutely. सारा बवाल तो subconscious में ही है. Everything is here, stored here. This is why we act, we attract certain things with a pattern, because every information is recorded at the back of your mind. And that is what happens. That is how we repeat things over a period of time.
Repeat mistakes.
Mistakes, we repeat them over and over again on autopilot. And that autopilot, being on autopilot, is what we call जो subconscious में है. Moving forward. Here are some of the challenges. So this might be like little repetitive for the people who have been attending the webinars for the first time. But for those who are new, here are some of the challenges that we all go through. और इसमें से कोई ना कोई एक तो होगा पक्का. Mistake, loneliness, overthinking, yes, procrastination, negative mindset, boredom that leads to addiction, unable to express your emotions, again struggles to keep emotionally stable, office politics hota hai, and then toxic family politics and everything merges in. we're excessively sensitive. Either we are excessively sensitive, is extreme end pe, or we are emotionally unavailable, depending on how we have been groomed. Mostly, now not generalizing, but in most of the cases, we have seen that the females fall somewhere in the category of being excessively sensitive, but it's not general. Okay, I have personally have had cases where, that's not true. And females are also emotionally available sometimes, but in most of the cases, that is so. And in most of the cases, when we talk about the men, they are emotionally unavailable because of the structure of the society. ठीक है? यहाँ पे झगड़ा नहीं करना आप किसी को. It's just because of how the society grooms us. That's the only thing. Now, most of you would remember this from our last webinar, but again, sharing this for the new people, because I think this is a powerful example from a case study to share what happens to us, and somewhere also to help you understand how your journey would unfold. So there was a case, and this person, she connected with us and she shared that, she's having some issues with keeping memory. So she keeps forgetting things. And because of this one little habit, what has happened that she has faced severe challenges in her professional, personal, and otherwise. Her area mein she's facing challenges. Now, when we started asking her some of the questions like we do, it so happened that she believed this is not a mindset problem at all. This is where she is facing some physiological condition and she needs to go for medicine. Because, she gave many reasons, maybe this happened or maybe that happened. And this is why, I need to go for medication. But when we asked her, again, we connected with her, we asked her, she said that, I practice this, I practice that. But I do it at a certain point of time. But throughout the day, what happens is, again, I get information over and over again. People telling me that you forget things, people telling me you do this, you do that, this happens to you. And, this must be your fault, because it's easy for us to put all the blame on a person jisko khud hi pata nahi hai ki whether the person might do the job or not do the job. It's easy, kisi ko blame kar dete hain. And that is how we label person, keep on labeling them and give them an identity, which is terrible. It's a terrible thing that we unfortunately do to people. Coming back. So in the message, this is what she replied. That, everything happens and sab hota hai. I do everything, but at the end of the day, log bolte hain. And now, आदत हो चुकी है सुनने की. After a period of time, a particular thing is normalized for us. And that becomes our habit. Once again, it becomes our habit. So when we address our, जब हम अपनी journey पे जाते हैं, on our transformational journeys, the idea is first to address the traumas that you have had in whatever form. Trauma doesn't mean that, कोई बड़ा चीज हुआ होगा, then only it's a trauma. A simple incident like that, egg incident, where she's not given a proper answer and she starts to believe, she starts to cook stories. Okay, so this is my problem, or, that is why they are doing that. This in itself has become an unresolved issue for her. And trauma is nothing but an unresolved issue that stays over a period of time, a long period of time. And when it does that, हमें आदत हो जाती है. We become accustomed to it. It becomes normal for us. And that is what she said. So when your recovery journey, when you will be on your recovery journeys, make sure that you not only address your traumas, but you also come out of the habit which has been normalized for you and which you also have normalized for yourself over the years. Moving forward. Ultimately, we all take up one or the other statements, core statements on which we build a foundation of our identity. This is how I am. You know, it remains very hidden actually. And it is mostly connected to more or the other inner childs that you carry. We don't achieve goals, failures, ye hai, wo hai, and these are some of the things. Ultimately, that happens, then this happens. Loneliness is better than betrayal. Inaction is better than failure. I am not going to trust anyone. If I don't think about the problem, probably it's not there. Overthinking. Chalo, sochte, maybe I'll resolve it. Kuch to hoga, there should be an answer. We end up getting a lot of answers and then we are in a dilemma ki yaar, which is the right answer for me. And we never know what happened exactly. Then why always me? I need to always run and protect myself. It feels like I'm always in a survival mode. How many of you feel you all are creative? How many of you feel that, you know, creative, that I'm a very creative person? Yes, very creative. All right, Shreya, Sudha. So you all feel that, you know, I'm a very creative person.
I just do.
Let me ask you. Oh, that's awesome. That's really good. That's really beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, coming back. How many of you have written some of the things and, you know, just like Sabinalini shared with us a beautiful painting. How many of you, so what exactly you all do? You know, let me engage with you all a little bit. Like, what do you all do in terms of creativity? Someone paints, someone writes stories. What all do you write? What all do you, you know, create? Come on, conscious seekers. Knitting, paper craft, what else? All right, write stories, learn guitar. Then yes, keep on coming up, like writing stories. So can we have Sudha? Like, can we have Sudha on the screen? Are you there? Can you raise your hand so that, you know, we can somewhere highlight you? Painting, all right. Creativity, visualization, innovation on cooking. How many of you are entrepreneurs? Entrepreneurs.
About to be.
About to be. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, yeah. Yuvrani, absolutely. So, let me ask you here. Okay, so, you know, specifically the story writers. Can we have the story writer, Sudha? Because there is a general idea, which somewhere I need to, you know, help you see. What is it that we are getting at somewhere? You're there, Sudha? Application of Vedanta. All right. So yes. So tell us, you know, what is your writing process? You know, just the writing process. How would you write your, you know, some of the stories, some of the poems? How would you write it?
So basically, I have one idea, and then based on that idea, have multiple mind map, and then start with each and every part of it and expand that particular story.
All right. And what is
Introduce
your
the character.
And what becomes your inspiration? We would love to hear your story, by the way. You know, do share it in the group because we would all love to read it. All right. But yes, coming back to it, you know, what becomes your inspiration? If, you know, some of the inspirations, somewhere from your life, if I'm right?
Yeah.
Something, you know, some incident
Yes.
Which you would have thought of and you felt like, okay, you know, this is something very interesting. Maybe I should write about it. Or maybe something, you know, which feels like, okay, I need to write about this. Let me write it down. Let me put it on paper. And, you know, maybe I'll create something good out of it because there is so much energy inside of you that you just wish it to be on paper. Whether you want to create out something good out of it or not, but you want it on paper and then ultimately you end up having a story.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that is how we all write stories. And sometimes we say, na, jitna pain hota hai, jitni suffering hoti hai, utni achhi story hoti hai. Right?
I make one line stories.
Yes, one-line stories are also there. You know, the quotes and everything, the heart-touching quotes, and to put us in pain or वो pain वाले जो सारे रहते हैं, it touches us more. So pain is one emotion that touches us more than joy वाले emotion. So हम भी कहाँ अलग है society से? हम भी pain की तरफ जाते हैं. But first of all, I am a huge fan of all the artists, all the writers, and it's lovely what you all do, right? But there is just one little thing that I want to put in. हमारी जो stories की ending होती है. Now this is something which you can keep to yourselves, and maybe we can talk about this बाद में. But the ending of the stories, how do you feel? What should be the ending of those stories? Good
We
endings?
always want happy.
Happily ever after.
Happy endings, happily ever afters, right? We all want happily ever afters. But there are stories, kabhi kabhi hota hai humse, ki, we read some of the stories which have negative endings, or left out, like छोड़ो देखे पता नहीं क्या होगा life में, because life feels meaningless. So let me read the story. If in case you have ever done that, I'll ask you to change the ending of your story once again. I wrote one story on a killing. It is on a real person's life from my family itself. And that person ultimately did something. Kuch hua tha. Maybe if I get a chance, I'll share the story with you. And I shared the story, the negative endings and the happy endings to all my readers. Please provide your insights. And everyone said, let's go with the happy endings. Nobody liked the negative endings. And I spent days on refining the endings. बहुत time लगा उसको refine करने में. It was just a story, but still it took some time. So then, शायद maybe many of you would have guessed हम लोग कहाँ आ रहे हैं. How many of you feel the ending of your stories should be beautiful? Starting कैसी भी हो. But how would you do that? कैसे होगा? ये बहुत बड़ा question है. How would you do that? How would you undergo that journey of transformation to be at the end where things change, the stories change, the scripts of your stories change? Abhi tak to, all the stories, all the
Self-improvement.
affirmations are already here.
Realization and self-improvement journey.
Realization and self-improvement journey. That's the first step of it. Self-awareness. Till now, many of us have been hiding, let me practice this, let me practice that. And, एक घर है जिसके सारे corners टूटे हुए हैं, it's almost a ruin because many of the things, storms have hit us over a period of time. And at this point, हम लगे पड़े, okay, let me buy that chandelier. Let me buy that expensive carpet. Let me, put a fireplace here and it will look good. Let me, put a wallpaper around the house and, everything will be fine. But it's about changing
Yourself.
the bricks. Yes, changing yourself. Because ghar to khada hai. It's all in ruins. What is the first thing you need to do? First, let us become aware of the fact that there is something seriously wrong here. Pehla cheez, chalo accept kar liya. Let's accept this. Let's move from there. The next step, let's replace the bricks. So if we can consider these bricks as thoughts, as statements, so this is what it looks like. These are some of the statements that we usually stay with. And over a period of time, they consolidate and they become calcified. Calcified ho jate hain, बहुत अच्छे से they get embedded and then we don't even think about it. Then it just happens. But that is what we need to change. अब आते हैं topic पे. Unmasking the 7 secrets around inner child. ये inner child है क्या? And what is it that you should or should not expect from it? The first secret, ladies and gentlemen, your inner child was born as a part of your mind's defense system. Defense system तो था, But what happened that in that moment, just like that girl, in that moment, there was a threat for her in the environment. She did not know what exactly is happening to her. So in that moment, she is somewhere stuck. It is possible that throughout her life, she might remain stuck at that point. What happened? Am I stupid? Or, do I not understand things? Okay, let me not approach people. Let me not do this. Let me not eat this. Okay, I should be really careful about the rules of the society. Otherwise, people are going to ostracize me. And this is what we keep on doing. But this inner child was just born as a part of your mind's defense mechanism to protect you. और वहां पे आते हैं हमारे defenses. We either become rebellious, or we either withdraw from world, or we either sublimate. Sublimation is what we call, it's a defense mechanism where we end up being creative. Creative hote, we try to direct this energy into something creative. But let me ask you a question here. A creativity hai, which is coming from the challenges that you have faced. A creativity which comes from you changing that story first and then writing about that. Which one do you feel is better? Kaun sa acha lagega? Which one would you like to choose?
Second.
Second one?
Yes,
Yeah. तो ये हमें कभी नहीं सिखाया जाता. We are never told first to change our stories and then share it. We usually share it prematurely. Would you agree? Our personal stories are powerful. And some of you who might have attended the last webinar, they would have had the experience of meeting a very young writer.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
The Kingdom.
What was his name?
I like
My
to remember
Kingdom?
the book. Yeah.
Yes.
Kingdom.
So my,
Anshuman.
my world, my kingdom. That child went through his journey. And after that, he wrote down his story in his own way to inspire the world that, stories can be changed and they can be powerful as well. Your personal stories are powerful. And the minute you work on your weaknesses, because weaknesses ko chupane se na kuch nahi hoga. Allow yourself to change your stories. Allow yourself to change those weaknesses. तो फिर देखो कैसे क्या करते हो फिर दुनिया में. You will not even imagine the potential that you carry. And that is the beauty of recovery. The beauty of it. Coming to the next secret. Unfortunately, that inner child, जिसे कभी address नहीं किया गया, which was never told the right thing, never given a right answer, the child is still in a state of shock, be it whatever. And this is why we end up having defenses. We end up having different roles. We play different roles. Either we are victims, either we are persecutors, either we are rescuers. And until you stay in any one of these roles, trust me, you are yet to taste the freedom of your recovery. वो जो freedom होता है ना, it's beautiful. Have you seen many of the people out there, talking about happy money, talking about their, amazing transformations, the way they attract, law of attraction, the way they practice it, and emotional excellence. Have you been hearing these things on social media? There is a huge buzz about it. So many multi-millionaires coming up, so many of them, having their victories, becoming emotionally intelligent. They are very calm leaders. Have you been hearing about them?
Yes.
Yes.
Every day.
And do you feel every day? And this is their secret actually. Some of them, we have had the opportunity to work also with some of them. And that is what they do. If school mein hame jaate hain, when we enter the schools, what do? We train for a very long period of time. We go into the first class, second class, third class, फिर जाते हैं, you know, different levels are there. We go into college, then we, you know, acquire certain jobs, or we decide what we wish to do with our careers and so on. Yeah, पहले
Yeah.
दिन से we buy the tie or suit and, you know, be ready. First day से बच्चा भी 1 साल का भी नहीं हुआ है, we, you know, buy all the suits and everything because this child will become a engineer, or she will become an engineer, or she will become a politician, जो भी, you know, whatever is the aim. करते हैं पहले लास्ट में सूट खरीदते हैं, or do we invest in the child first? What do we do?
Invest.
We invest in the child. But जब हम पे आता है ना, every course that we are going to buy out there, everything, ultimately they are going to ask you to work on your mindset. True or false?
True.
True. They will ask you to manage your emotions.
But
True or
where
false?
those emotions are coming from, है ना?
But where the emotions are coming from? No one will talk about the subconscious. And actually, the secret of the people out there who you see changing, you know, bringing in massive changes in themselves in a period of, you know, in or maybe 5 years, they are showing massive changes. You will not even recognize them. कि यार हुआ क्या? This person was so shy. How is this person standing up there? Because they are working first on themselves. And then they invest simultaneously. They do invest on courses as well. कभी-कभी लगता है, you know, we have all the tools, but we don't know what to do with it. You know, we have everything with us, all the tools, they are all ready. I don't know how to be a warrior. I don't have a warrior's mindset. So how will I go out there and, you know, use all the tools which I have? I've been given all the tools. But how will I do it? How will I gather that courage? Till it's not here, it won't be out there. You will have to put in massive efforts to do it. Massive efforts. और एक पॉइंट के बाद ना हार मान लेते हैं कभी-कभी हम, और either we compromise. Okay, let me compromise this part of my life entirely and let me jump in here. Let me put all and everything on in one direction. सिर्फ career, career, career. इसी पे चलो focus करते हैं. बाकी सब कुछ छोड़ देते हैं. But if you see some of the people who are coming up, some of the, you know, people who are bringing massive changes in the world, they have their families, family time भी spend करते हैं, vacation पे भी जाते हैं. They have growing businesses. They are amazing artists as well, और happy money भी है, सब कुछ है. You know, they focus on all the areas of their life. Fitness भी है. कैसे? Because they first invest in their mindset building, or most importantly, their emotions. Tony Robbins, Marissa Peers, some of the names, you know, top names. Vishen Lakhiani is, then, sorry, not Lakhiani, Vishen Lakhiani. Then you have Silva Mind, Joe Silva, Joseph. These are some of the names. And these people have been telling the secrets over and over again. Joe Dispenza, I don't know, you know, किसी ना किसी का तो नाम सुना होगा. Yes, we are stuck with our emotions, and trust me, without your emotional excellence, there is no law of attraction. There is no use of all the tools that are out there, because you end up compromising one thing or the other. Right? कुछ ना कुछ छोड़ोगे. Some or the other thing will be compromised. Trust me. If you are not working on your emotional transformation, and that is where you need to first focus on before investing on anything else. A few days back, a person approached me, and this person told me that, you know, she has invested on so many things, even bought the tools, everything for her, you know, journey to start as a entrepreneur, everything. But where do you think she's stuck? She is, I mean, she has taken a lot of guts, I would say. Her age is also amazing. But where is she stuck?
Starting.
Starting. We don't know how to get up, go out there and connect with people. and she has invested in all the other things. The machines are in place, the trainings have been done, the courses have been taken, how to do, what to do, everything done. But she doesn't know how to get up, go out there and speak to people. She knows also what she needs to do, but she doesn't know how to get up, go out there and connect with people. Because she has a long history, long story. So she is around 55 years old, 55 to 60 years old. Her mission is amazing. It's inspiring. But the only way that person is stuck is emotions. How to get up and go out there. Fear state. Kaise? What will I say to them? How should I talk to them? She is an amazing artist, but she is, okay, I'll do that for you. Whatever
Stuck somewhere.
leads she has, sab gaye, because they were like, okay, energy nahi hai yaar. This is why we usually make sure that your energy remains maintained. Otherwise, Sunday evening, all will go to sleep. And wherever it is that we could make an impact, chala jayega. Energy is equal to wealth. Energy is equal to health. Energy is equal to everything that you want. And emotions play a very important role in that. So this grace, where the inner child is still stuck in that state of shock, first allow yourself to become aware, and the next step is retrieve that child from shock. Leke aao usko bahar. Next, what are the challenges? We are going to gradually come to the challenges. Here is what your inner child actually needs. Some of you, so we did go through all the forms as usual, and some of you mentioned, how should I protect my inner child? How many of you had that question? How should I protect my inner child? Kaise bachaye chote se bacche ko, the innocent self?
Instead of protection, focusing on protection, I think we should focus on nourishing.
Yes, we come to that. It's very important. This is what we need to understand. Your inner child does not need protection. It already has protection. What it needs to be heard and addressed properly. जैसे उस बच्चे को अगर उस दिन properly कह दिया होता कि today is an auspicious day, these are some of the rituals that we follow in our culture. So, today we are going to skip it. Tomorrow, the first thing that you're going to have is this. Yahan pe let's negotiate, a powerful request, negotiation skills, yahan aate. But aisa hua nahi. Fourth secret. Now, whenever there is a trigger out there for any one of us, and I think every one of us, pakka, ye to hai. Whenever there is a trigger out there, what happens? Your inner child is there. It was triggered, threatened at a point of time. Us point pe kya hua? There came a defense. Ek defense aa gaya. Bola, theek hai, this innocent self, go back, rest. I'll take over. Let me take over now. You might have seen so many reels also. Heart ab bahut pain mil chuka, heart ko heart breaks ho gaye. Let's go on the wild side. Let's bring on the devil, the demon, and that will fight with the world. Now, what is this demon going to do? It's going to fight off rigorously. There was a hint of a trigger, and you end up fighting bahut zyada. And that is where there is a mismatch between what happens and what you do. And then you end up either going into a circle of guilt, or either not doing enough, or destroying relationships. Be it in your professional life, be it in your personal life, anywhere. We end up doing this. थोड़ा सा trigger का hint आया, तुरंत चौकन्ने हो गए कि ना, not again, never again. And the protective self comes in. And again, the child goes back into protection. This is what happens. तो सिर्फ inner child नहीं होता, उसके साथ एक protector भी आता है. which we usually call as defenses. Fifth secret. By working on your inner child. Now, this is interesting. You actually go against the defenses that was created to protect it. Let me ask you, what do you think about this statement? When you try to connect back with your inner child, you're actually going against the defenses which your mind created for you to protect your inner child. Let me be a teacher here for a second and let me ask you, कितना समझ में आया topic?
So we are breaking out of
What
the
did you-
shell.
So basically, inner child is saying that I am good enough. I don't need any protection. मैं खुद ही capable हूँ अपने environment को face करने को और मुझे सारे solution पता है, मैं कर रहा हूँ. तो
Right.
protection layer जो होगी वो कहेगी मेरा काम ही नहीं है. तो उसके against खड़ा हो गया ना.
Exactly. Exactly. So इसके खिलाफ जाना पड़ता है डिफेंस के, and that is the most trickiest part. ये सबसे tricky होता है. Because you would have to convince yourself, convince this defense, and this defense is actually primitive. You'll feel like it's always vigilant. You know, any minute threat आएगा, it will be very alert. It knows इधर से attack आ रहा है, you know, I need to protect this. Because एक बार हो चुका है, दोबारा नहीं. And that is why it becomes a challenge. So your inner child तो ठीक है, but this is the defense which you would have to go against to reach this inner child and then resolve the things with it. Sixth secret. Is it becoming a little heavy?
No, it's
Yeah.
interesting.
Interesting? All right.
We are getting curious now.
You're getting curious now. And it's a beautiful journey, let me tell you. With whoever I've worked with now, it unfolds beautifully. Beautiful a journey. बहुत tough लगता है, but it's the most beautiful journey you'll have of your lives. Now, sixth secret. To undergo self-growth, the inner child should align with you. You do not need to protect it. So we did say this, you do not need to protect your inner child. But ये alignment क्या है? You know, why do you feel the inner child should align with you? What does this mean? Alignment. It should align with you. वो बोलते हैं ना, जब तक तोड़ेंगे नहीं, तब तक छोड़ेंगे नहीं. ये attitude के साथ, if you move ahead on your transformational journeys, trust me, जो बाकी सब कर रहे हैं ना, you will understand what exactly is it that they are doing. एक साल पहले कुछ और था, बाद में कैसे transform हो गए. This is what happens. This is exactly what they are doing, because each and every journey that you're going to start after this will go through you being emotionally intelligent or having that emotional excellence. This is the highest paying skill that you can have as a human being, as an individual, as an entrepreneur, as a person who wishes to contribute back with their services. Highest paying skill. Connection banega. You will not actually be scared of your failures as well. You know कि you can be your own cheerleader. कोई चाहिए ही नहीं. Be your own cheerleader. Take the ownership back of your lives. जो बाकी के आज लोग ये सब कर रहे हैं ना, who are very, you know, they are having huge growths. कुछ है जिनको growths मिल रही है, but if you look at their lives closely, one or the other areas of their life might be in downfall. But there is, trust me, there is a community of people out there coming up secretly who are just emotionally intelligent, and उसके बाद उन्होंने सब कुछ create किया अपनी life में. Everything they have created. So, in short, this is how your journey looks like. Now, many of you would have seen this, but for people who are new, this is for them. The idea is कि यहाँ पे ना एक loop में रहते हैं हम. If you can, look at tilt करके, I don't know. If you have joined with PCs, good. But if you have joined with a mobile, I would say tilt your phone and, allow yourself to look at the photo. नीचे एक circle है. There is a loop. That's the loop where we stay in most of our lives. यहाँ से break करने के लिए, you need to take a massive action. Let yourself be self-aware. क्योंकि वो जो पहला stage होगा ना, where you accept, acknowledge, okay, you know what, there is something wrong. I can do better than this. I'm not actually using my full potential. Let me stretch. जब वो stretch करोगे तब massive action लोगे. जब massive action लोगे, then you will come to the true awareness of your crisis or your challenge. Problem word हटा देते हैं because labeling फिर start हो जाएगी, but challenge. From there, you actually go to, अगर घर में कोई problem है, तो पहले पूछते हैं ना कि problem क्या है, बताओ तो सही, तब तो solution देखेंगे. Or you start asking for solutions first. घर पे कोई आया, ना ये problem है, ये problem है. अच्छा ठीक है, बताओ, बैठो, आराम से बैठो, बताओ क्या problem है. And then you give the solutions, or you give the solutions beforehand. क्या करते हो?
पहले पूछते हैं.
पहले पूछते हैं. थोड़ा सा ये काम अपने साथ भी कर लेते हैं. नहीं, पहले अपने आप से पूछते तो है कि what is it that you're going through? है क्या, हो क्या रहा है? Then let yourself realize that what is it that you need. In my experience so far, like just giving an example or two from it, people have often come with the idea that, I'm someone who's very angry. I always stay in the state of my dominant emotion is anger. Anger. But anger. Am I audible?
Yeah. One word I could not
Okay.
understand.
So it's usually, someone coming up, like, I have a lot of anger. But when we sit down, we actually realize maybe the person just felt helpless. Just helpless. और उस पल में लगा कि क्या करे, नहीं पता, नहीं समझ आ रहा है. और फिर decided never again. Never again. So, no matter what threat comes up, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to fight back. इससे पहले कोई मुझको छोड़े, मैं ही उसको छोड़ देती हूँ. होता है?
Yeah.
यही होता है. इससे पहले वो हमें छोड़े, हम उसे छोड़ देते हैं. We never even understand हुआ क्या. And we end up destroying most of our relationships like that. Not just in personal life, but in professional life also. इससे पहले वो हमें कुछ बोले, हम ही उसे डांट देते हैं, हम ही उससे रिश्ता खराब कर लेते हैं. So that the person doesn't have a chance to put me down. Next, accepting the challenge to transform. Once you take massive actions, then you need to go to the point where you have awareness about yourself. Then realizations of the true needs of the self, जो से actually चाहिए. And then accepting the challenge to transform. कि ठीक है चलो, ये need है ना तुम्हारी, करते हैं इसको. Let me take up this challenge. Let me go over this. Let me see what else is there that I can do. And then there comes a point where there is a fear of emergence. यार, the hell is known to me. यहीं रहते हैं, नहीं जाते कहीं और. पता नहीं कहाँ क्या challenges होंगे. It's an unknown world. So let me stay here ना. कहाँ कुछ हो रहा है. I already know what to do. I already know how to deal with it. But that fear, you would have to take a leap of faith, my dear friends. You would have to take a leap of faith from there and continue your journey, even if you don't see anything. कुछ ना भी दिखे ना कि कुछ challenges अभी कुछ address नहीं हो रहा है. Okay, why should I go on this path? Keep walking on that path. Because that will be a leap of faith, and that emergence, जो fear है ना, emergence का, कि आगे तो क्या होगा, करोड़पति बन गए तो क्या होगा, अगर हमने स्टैंड ले लिया तो क्या होगा, दुनिया के सामने खड़े हो गए तो क्या होगा, यू नो एवरीवन विल स्टार्ट, यू नो आई विल बी हाइलाइटेड, क्यों, लुक एट यू, यू हैव चेंज्ड सो मच, what did you do, everyone will start come, you know, they will come around me, they will ask me. होने दो, start working on yourselves under cover and let the world see the change. And that is where sometimes, or most of the times, we need a community, someone to tell us that keep working on that road. और ऐसे हम क्रॉस करते हैं अपना विक्टिमहुड टू विक्टरहुड की जर्नी। तो यहाँ पे जितने लोगों को भी अभी भी लग रहा है ना कि मेरे इतने सारे इमोशनल चैलेंजेस हैं, कैसे करें, मुझे तो कोई प्रॉब्लम होगी, कैसे जाए, ये जितना टैबू क्रिएट हो गया है ना, मेंटल इश्यूज और ये और वो, मुझे नहीं है, मुझे है, पता नहीं जाते हैं, लेट मी हैंडल इट ऑन माय ओन। टेक दिस एज अ जर्नी, mostly like a game, because it's nothing but changing your one stage to another. It's nothing to be ashamed of. या जो stereotype कर दिए ना हम लोग, this is why I don't go with any और वो पुराने वाले चीज से, let me go as a mentor. So I usually, you know, connect with people as a mentor. Because this is your journey. What I can do is I can work with you. यहाँ पे कोई treatment नहीं है. It's just a journey for you to undergo. And that is transformation. How many of you like that idea? कि हाँ यार, ये अच्छा है थोड़ा. Treatment नहीं है. It's a journey. Because everywhere in your life, you will have to undergo these things. आप करते भी हो. Even in your professional life, what do? You take up a challenge, you understand the problem, you come up with a solution, you understand how to execute that solution, what is it that you need, and then you have, you know, again, some of the fears कि पता नहीं होगा कि नहीं होगा, क्या होगा, अच्छा हो गया तो अच्छा उसके ये सारे loopholes हैं. Fine, let us jump in it, देखते हैं क्या होगा, and then you just go with it. You do it already, but you don't do it with yourself. क्योंकि let me keep my set aside. रखो अभी आराम से रखो, you know. Your inner child will deal with you after a point of time. And you know why I'm saying this? This ouch moment, maybe this could be an ouch moment. Brutal honesty. But your inner child or your emotions will end up dealing with you after you are very successful in one area of your life. जब पीछे मुड़ के देखोगे ना, तो पाओगे कि सब कुछ कॉम्प्रोमाइज किया, अपने आप को भी कॉम्प्रोमाइज किया.
Very true.
बस एक चीज पाई, वो अच्छे से पाई. That is not happy money. That is not happy success. People are changing the concepts out there. People are changing the concepts, but are you changing with them? हमें लगता है कि we don't have a solution. We don't have anything. क्या हो रहा है हमारे साथ, हमें पता ही नहीं है, कैसे करें, क्या करें. अपने ऊपर वर्क करो. This is why the idea of working on yourself has, obviously COVID के बाद हुआ ये चीज, the transformation has somewhere happened, it has accelerated the process, but the truth has always been that work on yourself. जो लोग 10 साल से कर रहे हैं, they are at, you know, somewhere at the tops at this point of time. Artists, people, entrepreneurs, people in jobs also. That is their way to provide their services.
So is it one time work or it's kind of continuous journey? The inner child will be one time address,
Right.
or it's kind of
Journey.
yeah.
Good question. Good question. Really a good question. Why? Because हमें लगता है कि, you know, एक बार वो चीज हो गई, उससे बात कर लिए, फिर, you know, back होगा. Initially, there is a chance that your inner child might flip back. हो सकता है. You know, it might get up triggers. वो फिर से triggered होगा. But let yourself work on it twice, thrice. 20 साल रहे हो उसी इनर चाइल्ड को टॉर्चर करते करते,
40
2-3 बार अगर काम कर लोगे उस पे, it will work. Why? Because what you do is change your mind scripts there. Maybe you might connect with the idea. It's almost like changing the script. Redrafting your life. एक बार फिर से manuscript पे जाते हैं, देखते हैं कहाँ कहाँ problem statements हैं. Let's change it. Because language matters a lot. What language you use matters a lot. बोलते हैं ना, take back ownership, take back ownership. That is where they take ownership back of their lives. But yes, it's possible for everyone. So it deals with us in that manner. It gives us hard evidences. Negativity के hard evidences आ जाते हैं life में कि अच्छा नहीं हुआ था ना, यहाँ पे भी नहीं होगा. And that's where your faith shakes. The faith which you require along your journey. वो $1 billion courage होना चाहिए to receive something. $1 billion courage होगा तो millions आएंगे. $1 million courage होगा तो lakhs आएंगे. lakh वाला courage होगा तो थोड़े thousands आएंगे. और अगर एक bankrupt वाला दिमाग है, कुछ नहीं आएगा. So faith matters a lot.
I've attended many webinars and I'm doing many courses, but this is really amazing. And I was looking for something like this, like emotional intelligence since long time, but I didn't find any path. But now I'm like you've been telling stories and all these things that I'm now curious that how will I
Very
when the
curious to
journey
know
will
about inner child,
begin,
because
and
I've
I
attended
think it's
lot
already
of,
begun.
Sessions related to that. But majorly that was entirely different, wherein meditation was done, and then it was told that what your inner child like. If it likes dancing, you start dancing. So I was not feeling very much, connected, and there was no such feeling of freedom. कि मुझे मिला भी इस workshop से क्या समझ में. So that was still confusion. But here the way you were saying inner child is not basically the particular inner child. It's kind of a feeling or a feeling of trauma or feeling of distress which was still there, and it really needs someone's help, because I don't think so individually it is not at all possible for an individual to come out of it unless they know the third person will help to know what exactly happened and why it happened and what could be the other answer to it. It's because it takes over. The protection layer becomes so big that it takes over mind and lives. The protection layer is kind of fight and flight and so it becomes so big that we don't understand this is a protective layer only. वो उस time तक के लिए जरूरी था, हर time के लिए नहीं जरूरी था. तो मैं तीसरा रास्ता
Exactly.
I don't understand कि अगर अकेला भी बंदा unless उसको enlightenment ऊपर से कुछ हो जाए, बुद्धा बन जाए, it is not, है ना? Otherwise I don't think so. वो डेनियल को भी कहीं ना कहीं
enlightenment के लिए भी उनको गुरु की जरूरत पड़ती है.
गुरु के बिना नहीं करते हैं.
बुद्धा है, बुद्धा was enlightened because he was
गुरु थे वो.
गुरु तो उनके भी थे.
Correct. He treated nature as a guru at times, and वहीं से उनको कहीं ना कहीं enlightenment. तो basically क्या है कि there is a need of someone to get out of it. नहीं तो वो autopilot में life ऐसी घूमती है और सफर सारे लोग होते हैं जो आसपास, और वो भी सफर होते हैं basically in one sense. So it's really now the kind of thing which you said about protective layer. So this really makes sense कि what exactly the inner child is. So बहुत difference है, the definition and understanding the point of view.
You are awesome, Meenakshi.
Yeah. The self-realization of the defenses which we have put up ourselves, and we are stopping ourselves from reaching to our goal. That was really nice that we realized that. And the point which you discussed in the meeting, that when we see some people, successful people, they'll be doing wonderful in personal life, professional life, fitness, in every aspect they'll be fine. And some people will be struggling in every aspect. So that is really important, that we realize what is wrong and what is the root cause. The thing is, we are only stopping ourselves from being something and going out trying something.
Yeah, I love
Okay,
your
then.
sessions. This is something really amazing and new for me. I mean,
Thank you
teaching
so
with the
much.
stories and like the big picture, I still remember, and I'm able to solve so many problems with that.
Let me stop sharing. Let me, have you on the screen. Yeah, please.
The
So you
big
love it.
picture,
That's actually a very motivating feedback for us, by the way.
like the big picture story which you told about the elephants.
Yes.
Like when the blinds are touching the elephant and the like. So otherwise, if you would have told us that the big picture, everybody's perspective is this simply as a theory, we won't have understood it that better. But now there is a story and behind this, and the way you explain the concept, so we understand the concept and we relate to it in our real lives. Like, yes, this has happened.
blown out because I was not expecting what was going to be received during that 2 hours of session. Known to the fact about counseling, जहाँ पे counseling होता है मुझे 1-2 घंटा बात करने का मौका मिलेगा. But the problem was it was never helping me on a long-term basis, and that's what made Meenakshi's, like, frankly, like, I'm thankful to that was universe actually making a move towards me. शायद मैंने कोई prayer किया होगा कि भाई send me a help, and it did come to me through LinkedIn, and Meenakshi came in. So
चीज़ रिजॉल्व हो रही है धीरे कि हाँ, ऐसा कोई जादू नहीं हो रहा है कि कोई जादू हो रहा है, जस्ट कि मैं मेरे ही जो कॉम्प्लेक्स थे या जो मेरे ही प्रॉब्लम्स थी उनको मैं देख पा रहा हूँ या उनको रिजॉल्व करने का तरीका मेरे पास मुझे मिल रहा है तरीका कि हाँ इन चीज़ों कैसे रिजॉल्व करना है.